Report just reaching us from in the studio here is that Governor Godswill Akpabio has dissolved the Executive Council. Thank members for their commitment and contributions to the uncommon transformation of the state. Governor Godswill Akpabio has thrown his weight behind the clamor of an end to fuel subsidy regime in the country, describing it as an avenue for fraud. The governor made his position on the issue known while responding to encomiums poured on him at night of oration and tributes organized to mark his iconic years as governor of Akwa Ibom State from 2007 to 2015. The governor also pointed out that subsidizing fuel in Nigeria translates to shipping jobs overseas and economic gains for other countries to the detriment of local economy. He also stressed the need to right-size and unbundle the federal government agencies to enable the federal government to reduce the financial outlay on recurrent expenditure and boost budget for capital projects. A strategy, he pointed out, has been the foundation for the uncommon transformation in the state.
On record, my appreciation of all the good people of Akwa Ibom State for the support given to me in the last 8 years, and particularly for those who have had the privilege of serving the state in my administration in the last 8 years. As you have saved Akwa Ibom diligently, God in turn will save your families diligently.
While paying tributes to Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, his personal staff, aides, and members of the State Executive Council for the roles in the success of his administration, the governor said his job at the Senate is to pursue the development of the country. As the tenure of the present administration in the state winds down, staff of the office of the Deputy Governor has bid their principal, the Deputy Governor, goodbye. The event took place Wednesday at the Deputy Governor's Lodge in Uyo. Colonel Edem Efreti reports that the staff who were led by the Permanent Secretary in the office of the Deputy Governor, Lady Sylvia Ekpo, were at the lodge as hosts.
Led by the send-off package, which she described as a gathering of children to honor her as their mother. She said she was grateful to God for having lifted her into serving the government as a deputy governor, and that she was happy to have served with the staff of the deputy governor's office being part of the team. She thanked the staff for the honor and prayed God to bless them, even as she promised to remain a good mother to them beyond May 29th.
What you have done today has gone down in the record of history. And you did appreciate the person who worked with you, despite the hard times. I said, despite the hard times.
Office of the Deputy Governor, Lady Sylvia Ekpo, had informed the Deputy Governor that the staff were at the lodge as a family to bid her farewell. Lady Ekpo, who outlined the good qualities of the Deputy Governor to include being sympathetic and caring, said the staff held her dear to their minds. She urged Lady Ebe to keep her doors open, as they would be calling on her when need arises.
We couldn't allow you to go without gathering as a family to bid you farewell. So that is the reason we decided as a family to say, let us tell you goodbye.
Others the event included Director of Administration Mrs. Ekanem, who spoke to piles on Lady Ebe's face on behalf of senior staff of the office, Uduak Hari, who spoke on behalf of junior staff, and Cornelia Bassi, who appreciated Lady Ebe on behalf of political appointees. The event was witnessed by the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Elder Ofot Nkangote, and the General Manager of Ibom Power Plant, Mr. Victor Odo. Colonel Edem Efreti reporting.
A 21-member transition committee inaugurated by the governor-elect, Mr. Dom Emmanuel, to prepare blueprints for the smooth takeoff of the incoming administration, has submitted report. At the ceremony held at the banquet hall of Government House, Uyo, the chairman of the committee, Elder Sonia Padia, said the report was packaged in 3 volumes. The story is your presenter.
According to Elder Akpadiara, the first volume contains the main report spread into 13 sections. The second volume captures the memo, inputs and suggestions, while the third volume consists of a list of all inventories in the committee's terms of reference. A further breakdown of the main report shows that each section addresses various issues as highlighted in the terms of reference with appropriate suggestions and recommendations. Among the issues the committee says it has given attention to are the prevalent rate of unemployment, poverty, and measures to tackle them. Others are the need to reduce the cost of governance and the list of ongoing projects with their level of funding, among others. Elder Akpadiara specifically noted that the committee has recommended what it has considered as life-touching projects that deemed the administration should undertake within the first 100 days in office. Elder Akpadiara thanked the governor-elect for the confidence, saying the members are ready to contribute their quota whenever they may be called upon.
During that, we have identified a number of issues, social, political, and economic, and we have made appropriate recommendations.
The governor-elect, Mr. Dom Emmanuel, appreciated efforts by the members in their sacrifices in ensuring timely compilation of the report. Mr. Emmanuel thanked Akwa Ibom people for their trust in him and assured that all the recommendations captured in the report will be given due attention in a bid to render selfless services and run a state where others will want to emulate. Reacting to the clamor by some stakeholders on issues of appointments, the governor-elect urged them to lay emphasis on empowerment of a larger Akwa Ibom people rather than appointments. He, however, assured that the constitution of his working team will cut across all facets of Akwa Ibom structure, where his appointment of special and personal assistants will encompass all the local government areas for equity. The governor-elect extolled elders for the support from the outset and called on all to be ready to offer their time and intellect for the service and success of their Akwa Ibom projects.
The party is just a platform for you to use and serve the people. The day you are elected, you become the president-elect of Nigeria, or you become governor-elect of Akwa Ibom State. I reassure you, as my elders and my stakeholders, that we will work very well with the center, so that what is due us will still come back to us.
Petroleum marketers in the state have been directed to revert to 87 naira per litre pump price of petroleum in the interest of the people of the state. The senior special advisor, assistant to the governor on petroleum matters, Obawensien Isema, gave the directive in a statement in Uyo. Obawensema noted that days after the resolution of the impasse between the federal government and petroleum importers in the country, normalcy has returned to the petroleum supply chain. There is no justification to sell the product above the stipulated pump price. He also warned petroleum marketers against shortchanging the public by involvement in vices such as under-dispensing and illegal adjustment of meters at filling stations, as well as selling of adulterated products. The statement regretted the hardship motorists and indeed the people went through while the impasse lasted, stressing that everything must be done to ameliorate the suffering. Obawensien Isema, who is the chairman Petroleum Products Monitoring Committee in the state, thanked the federal government for resolving issues which led to the crisis in the petroleum sector and expressed the hope that all those involved in the petroleum product supply chain will do everything to support government and assist the people. We take a short break now. When we come back, more news. Do stay with us. So good to have you back. Report just reaching the studio this morning is that Governor Godswill Akpabio has dissolved the State Executive Council and thanked members of the EXCO for their commitment and contributions to the uncommon transformation of the state. Paramount rulers of Ibibioland have pledged to support and cooperate with the incoming administration of Mr. Dom Emmanuel. The paramount ruler of Uyo local government area, Edidem Silas Akpan, met the pledge on behalf of his colleagues when members of Uyo Senatorial District Elders Forum called on him. Edidem Akpan, who is also the Chairman State Council of Chiefs, assured that as an Ibibio son in whom they are well pleased, they have no reason not to cooperate with the administration. He noted that in any contest there must be a winner and loser, and that since God has decided to favor Mr. Dom Emmanuel, all should rally around him to ensure that he succeeds. The traditional rulers prayed God to guide and endow him with the wisdom to effectively discharge his duties while governing with the fear of God. The leaders of the Uyo Senatorial District Elders Forum, Obong Ekbe Tapo, said they were in the palace to interact on the way forward for the Ibibio. He called on traditional rulers of Ibibio land to rise up and ensure that the people are reunited in spite of political divisions. In his comments, a member of the delegation and former chairman of the NDDC, Ambassador Samidem, requested traditional rulers of Ibibio extraction to be ready to propel the same union of their forebears, which saw to the suspension of their son abroad, while the secretary of the forum, Obomesene Sema, harped on the use of dialogue in resolving disputes.
Rise up to the challenges of this region in terms of propelling the vision of Ibibio land and the state.
Leader for unity, leader for development, leader for progress of Akwa Ibom State, but in particular of Uyo Central District and Ibibio land.
Members of Mbieribebio intercessors have felicitated with the State Acting Chief Judge, Justice Stephen Okun. The congratulatory message signed by the coordinator of the group, Elder Mike Udo, appreciated and thanked God for the elevation of Justice Stephen Okun to the position of an acting State Chief Judge. The message praised God to imbue him with wisdom and knowledge to lead the state judiciary to a higher pedestal in Akwa Ibom State and Nigeria at large. The interdenominational and non-sectarian organization is committed to interceding for Mbieribebio, Akwa Ibom State and Nigeria. This year's Children's Day celebration took place in Ikorekpene, where school children, uniform organizations, women's group, members of Ikorekpene Executive Council, legislators, and other guests took part in the celebration. The chairman, Obon Gloria Say, reviewed the march past. Patience John reports.
Dressed in what they described as outing uniform, school children from various nursery, primary and secondary schools of both public and private backgrounds gathered at the Lutheran High School, Ikorobong, venue of the celebration, where the march to the admiration of the guests.
Apollo, Tiero, primary school, fast approaching, knowledge,
Uniform organizations and some women groups were not left out of the celebration. The chairman of Ikore-Ekpene local government, Obonwan Gloria Use, appreciated Governor Godswill Akpabio for investing in the future of Akwa Ibom children through the free education policy and free health care for children below 6 years, and other incentives put together to positively affect the lives of the children. Obonwan Use also noted that Ikore-Ekpene local government under her administration has also invested in the educational needs of the children by providing the basic needs including schoolwear, provision of books and other educational materials.
Let me use this opportunity to advise you to be of good behavior. Respect your parents, teachers, and elders. Take your studies seriously and make sure you don't join bad companies.
Holy Child Girls Secondary School Ifo came first, Top Faith Legacy College second, while Itai Comprehensive High School Ikore-Ekpene picked the third position in the secondary school category. For primary schools, Government School Ikorobong clinched the first position, followed by Methodist School Mbiasto for second position, while Government School Urban took the third position. In the nursery school category, Holy Child International Nursery and Primary School first, Methodist Academy Ikore-Ekpene second, and Rittman Nursery Primary School Ikore-Ekpene picked the third position. For dancers, Confidence High School came first, Midtown Secondary Commercial School second, while Holy Child Secondary School was the third. Confidence Nursery and Primary School came first in the nursery category. From the convent. Highlights of the celebration was a presentation of textbooks to all the participating schools in the event. Donated by the chairman, the books were meant for the school's libraries, while prizes were presented to winning schools. Patience John reporting.
Report just reaching us is that the State Executive Council has been dissolved by Governor Godswill Akpabio, and he thanked members of the EXCO for their commitment and contributions to the uncommon transformation of the state. Meanwhile, the Children's Day celebration did not hold in Ika local government area. Our correspondent who visited the area reported that as at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, no activity had taken place at the Community Stadium, which had completely been overgrown with weeds. Some students dressed in their school uniforms who thronged the venue were seen leaving the place in frustration after waiting many hours without any sign that the event would hold. They told our correspondent that they came out to march and generally make themselves happy as part of the national celebration, only to be disappointed.
We don't have it. That there's no Children's Day celebration in the local government.
Efforts to speak with the chairman of the local government, Mr. Xavier Yekere, failed as he could not be reached for comment by the chairman of the Nigeria Union of Teachers in Ika. Mr. Mfona Chebong said he only received a letter from the local government chairman the previous day that the celebration had been suspended due to some constraints. He condemned the development, saying that students, teachers, and the people of Ika local government area will be disappointed with the ugly developments.
Passing to Ryan, where the stadium is located along the same road, I saw some children gathered around the stadium environment, and I had to stop back and tell them to go back to their rooms because the council chairman said the event is not going to hold.
Our correspondent observed that people who had prepared all sorts of edibles and cookies to sell to the children were also disappointed. As the incoming administration of Mr. Dom Emmanuel kickstarts today in Akwa Ibom State, indigents of Ebu-Itum-Bonuzo in the local government area have congratulated him on his success at the April 11 polls. They have equally felicitated with Governor Godswill Akpabio on the successful completion of his tenure in office, having come on board in 2007. The statement, jointly signed by Chief Robert Akpan, Barrister Etienne Peter Essien, and the village head of Ebo, Chief Effiong Utubasi, praised God to endow Mr. Dom Emmanuel with wisdom, knowledge, and courage to lead the state higher in terms of development, industrialization, and human empowerment. The statement appeals to the incoming governor to construct the Ebo Ananamong Itumbonuzo Road to stimulate agricultural production in the country, since Ebo village had been severed from the rest of Itumbonuzo clan due to poor roads in the area. The Ibom Grassroots Empowerment Initiative has held her first anniversary award night and fundraising for empowerment, skill trade acquisition program for her members across the 31 local government areas of the state. The non-governmental organization is aimed at helping the less privileged, creating employment opportunities for the youth, and reducing poverty to the barest minimum. Olubayo Akindele's report is here presented.
The president and founder of the non-governmental organization, Evangelist Afoni Meibaga, explained that Ibom Grassroots Development Initiative was born out of love and passion to help the needy in the society, emphasizing that nothing gives him joy other than putting smiles on other people's faces. He said the organization now boasts of over 300 members in just a year of its existence, has empowered a lot of youth in areas like trade and skill acquisition, empowering rural farmers, asset and poverty support services, financial empowerment, scholarships, and provision of free medical services to members.
And we believe, by God's grace, we will reach our destination. And by the grace of God, we will empower many people in these states and Nigeria in general.
Guest of honor at the event, Apostle Isaiah Song, said Ibom Grassroots Development Initiative came at the right time and advised youths in the state to take advantage of the opportunities presented by the organization to empower themselves. High point of the occasion included the presentation of Award of Excellence and medals, as well as certificates to the patrons and matrons of the organization. The General Overseer and President, Christian Believers Mission International, Bishop Samuel Etok, who spoke on behalf of the awardees, appreciated the group for their recognition and promised to always be of help to the initiative.
Report reaching us this morning is that the State Executive Council has been dissolved by Governor Godswill Akpabio. He thanked members for their contributions and commitment to the uncommon transformation of the state. That's our package this morning, but just before we go to look at the major stories. Nigeria's High Commissioner to Canada, Ojo Maduekwe, counsels Akwa Ibom people against ungratefulness to Akpabio administration. The advice was contained in his oration at the Government House as part of the activities to mark the end of Akpabio's second term in office. Also, Governor Akpabio has joined other Nigerians to converse for an end to the current fuel subsidy regime in the country. That's our package this morning. We thank you so much for spending time with us and wish you a happy day.